Hello and welcome to Sacred State Oracle. I'm doing weekly pick a card general readings to receive intuitive messages for you. Feel free to pause the video to tune in and see which card calls to you. Please don't try to force a message. If it doesn't resonate with you, just leave it. And remember, no card reading should dictate your life. Always trust your own intuition and use common sense. Also, if you find these readings helpful, feel free to like the video, subscribe, and click the bell so you'll know when a new one is up. Your support means a lot and helps the space grow. With that being said, I'm so glad you're here. Let's dive in. Hello, deck number 1. I'm so excited to do this pick a card reading for you this week. Let's see what Spirit has in store for you. I didn't choose any specific questions for this week. I just wanted to chose the deck. I was intuitively guided to this deck specifically, so I chose it, and I just wanted to play out the way it needs to play out. And the intention is that whatever you guys need to hear, people who were drawn to deck number 1, is what you need to hear today for the week ahead. Okay, so let's just go ahead and flip this card open and see what happens. Okay, deck number 1, you got card number 24. And the message is on it. It says, the ending and beginning lie at either side of the same door. And it says emptied on it. So right away, this message cannot be any clearer, right? That you might be, deck number 1, feeling really emptied after things that's been, I want to say, opening up for you, or like it was revealing to you in the past few weeks, even some months for some of you. And so you're at the point where you are feeling emptied. I don't feel like giving up. I just feel emptied. More so emotionally too. Like there's this sadness of understanding that, let me just say it. I sense a wisdom when you know it was time to let go. And now you're just surrendering. You do not know how to necessarily cut it so that you're not attached to it anymore. You can easily move on. You just, in a way, surrendering and waiting it out. Yeah. So this is what I feel more closer to saying you are waiting it out. You know that eventually you'll be okay. You know that eventually you're going to replenish, but at this moment, there's nothing you can do additionally to speed up the process. It's almost like grief. You have to let your body experience it and kind of process it, right? And it comes and goes, and then it comes back to you again. So that's what I feel. I feel like it's good, though, that you are not in the place of fighting back, and in a way of, like, what I mean by fighting back, like holding on so tight onto it. And didn't we just had a reading last week? One of the decks had the same or similar message of letting go. Maybe it was a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember, but this is like a bit of a sadness with this card for some of you, but it only the realization that it's time to just say goodbye. It's not going to work out, and you know it, and there's nothing else you can do but wait it out for your body, for your energies to kind of work through this, so then you can replenish yourself. Because at this point, it's not like you can even replenish yourself. You are so exhausted. But like I get like emotional sense, exhausted in emotional sense. You don't even have energy to protect yourself emotionally. You're just like, okay, it is what it is. I've been maybe here before or in a similar situation. It sucks, but I know that there's going to be a change here, and you will feel that shift. You will feel that shift where you're like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to get up. I'm ready to start nourishing myself. Okay. And Spirit just brought attention to the lantern here that has a butterfly to it, but it's the light is very, very uh it's barely there. It's and then so when I looked at it first, I thought there was no light, but I can see that there's tiny bit of light in there. And I was like looking at it, and I'm like, how is butterfly even attracted to light? There's no light, but no, there is a light. There's just tiny bit of it, but just know that whatever you're feeling right now is temporary, and you will get to the point where you will feel ready to start nurturing yourself more, start to attend to your fire. And I want to say sacral chakra because it is highlighted in here in the picture of this girl. You can see there's like this fire kind of opening in that area of her body. And I feel that when you start feeling that that shift in your energy, then address anything and everything that you intuitively feel guided to when it connects to your sacral chakra. And sacral chakra is the energy center that kind of responsible for where that's where we process our emotions, motherhood, creativity, sensuality, um, and things like that. Okay, so where in that sense you see maybe you're not flowing the way you would maybe want to or where, and slowly but surely nurture yourself back to where you get to a place you're ready to take more actions. Okay, let's see what other message is going to come for you, maybe what you can do to help yourself shift. Oh, did you see that? It just jumped right on top of this card, and the message is beautiful because it says soul tribe, friendships, family, connections, like minds, belonging, shared journey. I mean, I you don't have to be a card reader really to see the message here. Spirit wants you to reach out to whoever you consider to be your soul tribe. Do you have close friends? Is it a family? Is it like-minded people in your groups that you feel like you belong to? Is it like women's circles you can go to, men's circles you can go to, where you can sit and listen to others people's stories and just share that energy of connection, share that energy of um, compassion, because everyone's going through something and perhaps similar journeys. And I remember going to some of the women's circles, and I felt I was like struggling with something so, you know, difficult for me at that time. But then I listened to other people's stories, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like if I think my stuff is hard, how would I have been dealing with something like what they are going through? And that change of perspective helped me to see my things more like a temporary things, right? Like I was saying, more of temporary things. You are okay. You'll be fine, even if you feel empty. So to help yourself, um, nurture yourself back to more flowing energies, I would say connect and reach out to people that fill you up, right? People that after talking to them and being around them, you feel recharged, you feel like you want to do more. Okay. What else? Okay. You know what? I'm going to use the same deck. I have a few decks laying around here just to see which one to use. And I want to use the same deck to see what else you need to know right now. Deck number 1. Okay. We got 3 cards. I'm just going to take the top one. There you go. You got Ascension. It says soul advancement, personal growth, meditative state, and awareness. So it looks like what I'm feeling from this card is that deck number one, you've been going through some up leveling, and that is definitely a challenge. That is definitely not not easy because we as humans, we get comfortable when things are comfortable, so we don't move anywhere. We don't really necessarily strive to go deeper into our own self-development. We get to this comfortable spot and we're like, okay, this works for me. And so in order for our soul to evolve, in order for character to grow, in order to yeah, like basically your soul evolution and soul advancement is that, as this card says, like we need certain stimulants that pushes us outside of our comfort zone, that pushes us and put in the situations where we are we tried for and pushed, and sometimes we land on our feet and sometimes we stumble and we had to get up again and try again. But that's for your highest good. That's for you to really, really, I want to say, and this word escapes me, it's like I feel this energy of embodiment of, like, yeah, like there's another word but I can't think of it right now. You embody this lessons in yourself, in like your awareness, and then something just unlocks and shifts, and you're able to perceive things differently. And I feel like the reason why you're amped and exhausted is because you just went through that up leveling and that ascension. Okay. So to replenish this week, try to connect and surround yourself with people that do give you that energy, that support you. I would say meditate and journal as well. And if you don't do any of that, I would look into any meditative practices that speak to you, even if it's just walking out the nature and, not listening to anything. Uh, Take this, earphones out and listen to the nature sounds. Don't listen to another podcast or, card reading. Just be with yourself and nature, okay? So you can get into this meditative state, the state of awareness, and see what your higher self has to tell you, what your spirit guides have to tell you or want to deliver to you, okay? So you can practice more to be aligned with your divine guidance, all right? Relying less on others and more on yourself in that sense of inner guidance. Okay, you do want to ask for help when you need it and surround yourself with supportive people, of course. But and sometimes it's of course nice to ask advice and see how people uh, what they can share, because they might experience things you haven't experienced yet. But you have to still put it through your own system, through your own filter, okay, to see if that's your truth as well. And that what I have for you for this week, deck number one. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have an amazing week. Take it easy, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Hello, deck number two. I am so excited to see you here. This week, I didn't really ask a specific question for our card reading. I just said, you know what, Spirit, whatever needs to come through, let's do it. I was intuitively guided to this particular deck, so I'm excited to see what kind of messages are going to come for you. And if you're ready, let's do it. Let's do this. Deck number two, the card for the week for you is Emotional Energy. Look how bright this card is, right? It's so beautiful with all the colors and all the energies that are coming through. Let's see. It says emotions are messengers to be met with appropriate attention, action, and gratitude. Emotions are messengers to be met with appropriate attention, action, and gratitude. And with this card, what I just got was I'm trying to put it in words because it's almost like that's this energy and knowing coming, but then I have to translate it into words. And sometimes it's a bit tricky. Sometimes things come too fast, and sometimes it's just to find the right words to describe what I am receiving. It's like this groundness energy is needed to be able for you to lead forward based on your emotions, but not let emotions lead you forward. Does it make sense? I hope it does. What I'm trying to say, if you are, say, got upset over something, and then you took action when you were still in that state of being upset, that is an example of your emotions leading you. Now, if you got upset over something and took this time to think, why is this person, situation, thing upset me? Why is it triggering me? Why is it causing this emotional response? And you went deeper and you came to some conclusion and reflected on things, and then you took action from there, from that point. That is when you're leading, right? But emotions are helping to guide you on your journey. So I hope that makes sense. And there's just beautiful transformation is happening. It's almost like this card gives me butterfly feelings, where she's transmuting and transforming, and I think that's the energy I'm getting with things that trigger you, those emotions that rising in you. If you were aware what state you've been recently in, and question it, and not just necessarily marinate in those emotions, whatever it might be. If you feel jealousy, so for some of you, I'm getting jealousy, why? Is it really because the partner is doing something that causes that jealousy? Or is it because there's things in you that need to be addressed as well, and healed, and met, and maybe even just acknowledged? Okay. And so then you could come from that space and not just be reactive. Okay. Let's see what else. It's almost like I can catch a breath a little bit too. So for some of you, your emotions might be quite strong, and that's when you really need to try to not make any big decisions when you're in the highest of your emotions, right? And just wait for the storm to calm down a little bit, or your emotional storm to calm down a little bit, and then you can step into making the decisions from a more balanced space. I want to say, not not impulse, not act on impulse. Okay, again, like reactive energy, even though sometimes I know it's hard, especially if you really get going with the triggers. All right, let's see what else spirit has for you. Okay, I wanted to grab this deck, but I guess I have to grab another deck. I have a few decks here prepared, and different card decks. So I grabbed one and like, nope, not that one. I'm like, okay, let's see what other message spirit has for you to help you maybe release that emotion or guide you further. We got Angel of Balance. Haha. I am laughing, I'm giggling, because you can make that stuff up. Look at her. They all both kind of moving in the direction to the right as well. So Angel of Balance again. Uh, I feel the invitation for you to, like, how I was telling you, don't go into making decisions until this emotional storms calm down, so you can get to the state, to the point of emotional balance. And if you feel guided, and if it's in your spiritual beliefs, ask for Angel of Balance to come and help you in your situation to achieve that balance, so you can get to this point of evenness, if that's the word, and then come from there, okay? Because that will help you move forward. I feel like that will help you not to go back into the loop of the things that you've been doing. I'm not calling you out, but that's kind of how I feel with the energies right now. So you don't go into the pattern, repetitive pattern that obviously didn't work for you before, okay? And it's just causing more and more. Yeah, I hear pain, so more like emotional, maybe pain, because it gets to a certain point, and it's just almost massaging is what I'm. Those are funny words. Massaging the triggers. It's not. It's not necessarily help you process them and get, being okay with this trigger so they don't direct your life, but in a way it stimulates them. So that next time you go there, you're like, boom, okay, triggered again. It's almost like you giving it power again and again. And I've read that before. I've heard about this before, where say if you are afraid of something or uncomfortable somewhere and it's irrational, um, and you when you in the situation again, you just reaffirm it, then it's like a confirmation for your brain. Yes, this is scary. Yes, this is unsafe. Okay, even if it's like irrational. So say you're afraid of flying, I guess it could be rational because like things happen. But if it's like out of, maybe it's not a good example, but it just came to my mind. But I'm not afraid of spiders, I guess. And then every time you see a spider, you like terrified about it over and over, unless you make a small adjustment where you're like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to stand next to the spider. You know what? I'm just going to, try to put it in a cup, whatever. And the point is, I don't know why I'm rambling about this, but the point is that if you make the small adjustments, then you do not necessarily give yourself additional confirmation into your brain. Yes, it's something to be scared of. You actually retraining it into a more useful space where you're like, okay, you know what? I can actually handle it. Let's see what. Okay, now I can use this deck. Thanks. Let's see what else we get for you. I am super excited. I love doing this. You never know what's going to come up. So what else does deck number 2 need to know this week? Monday is actually new moon, I believe. It's a good time to set new intentions. Okay, so if you get to that place of balance, can you set new intentions? What does deck number 2 needs to know? Spirit jumped right here. Okay. Perspective. Okay. What did we do? What were we talking about? Okay, what were we talking about? It says perspective, new point of view, big picture, professional guidance, clarity, rose-colored lens. I feel like I can just be done with the reading because it's so on point with what the spirit I feel wants you to focus on this week. What guidance is coming through for you is that sometimes we're in this tunnel vision when we believe in certain things and we put it through our own filters. We put it through our colored lenses. We put it through our, as I said, filters. It's only because this is how we experience life and this is how we formed our thinking to this point. And this is why we're seeing something like the way it is. And we think it's true. We think it's an absolute truth. And what I feel like the invitation is for you is like, okay, hold on. Can it be something else? Is it possible that, oh, don't want to call anybody out, but what I got in my mind was overreacted. And I don't want anybody to go and start thinking negative about themselves if they realize that maybe they did overreact it. It's okay. Give yourself grace, okay, and understanding, and be like, okay, so this is how I acted, this is what I said, this is because I thought this, and I was motivated by this types of emotion because I got triggered, and whatever it might be. But now you understand it, you can be like, okay, I see how this all connected. What can I do? Maybe there is a different point of view. Maybe I can step away and look at the bigger picture. Okay. Sometimes we tend to focus on little details that are going to be coming, going, and they don't even matter. Okay. It also invites you for professional guidance. So if that's something to do with relationships and with your partner, for example, and you feel like you need that third person to help you understand where each person comes from, because when another person or like your partner is trying to explain their feelings, it get too triggering or too overpowering, and it's hard for you to go to a place of understanding. Then perhaps it's for you to get a professional uh, consultation, professional like therapy that can help you understand what is the other person is trying to tell you, so that you guys can work on your relationship and make that progress towards resolution and more engaging, more fulfilling relationship. Okay. So again, just to kind of go back for a sec to with what we have here, is that remember to pause if you are get this impulse to act because emotions are driving you. Just pause, give it a second, give it a few minutes, 10 deep breaths, and see if you can come up the place from of balance. Um, because perspective really is everything. How you look at things will dictate how you're going to think and what actions are you going to take. Okay. And with that, I'm going to leave you deck number 2. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. I hope you have an amazing week ahead of you, and talk soon. Hello, deck number 3. So excited to see you here this week. For pick a card reading, I didn't really choose a question, like a specific question. To me, it was just let's see what spirit wants to deliver. I was guided to this specific deck, so I'm gonna start with this card and then see what unfolds. I have a couple decks laying around here to pull additional cards for you, but as far as like the main question, I didn't choose it this week. So let's see what we've got. Deck number 3. Enough. I wanted almost to scream like, enough. Um, Card number 20, it says, you were born enough. Deck number 3. I read intuitively, so I'm going to tune into things that I felt, to emotions that I felt. And I don't know if it's you or like this energies around you that are saying, you know what, it's enough of playing small. Like it's enough of that, enough of talking down to yourself, enough of not taking actions towards your goals or dreams because you don't believe you're worthy, enough of putting up with maybe some sort of mistreatment because you just want to keep peace and you don't think you can find a better situation. It's like, enough. No, enough. You were born enough the way you are. Okay. We don't look at the babies, newborn babies, if you've ever been around them, and say, okay, this little one deserves amazing relationship, and this little one deserves, it's worthy of, like, say, making this much money in the lifetime, and this little one deserves, no, we all worthy of everything. So this would be my invitation for you then to see if that's what you've been doing, or like this week, pay attention. Pay attention. Where are you not hearing your dreams and goals calling you? Because see on her hands, she's like putting them to her ears. It's almost like she's trying to hear something. Your path is calling you. Your path is calling you through your desires, through your impulses when you get excited about something. And you probably heard this before, but for whatever reason, you're telling yourself, no, I cannot sustain myself doing this. Well, you don't have to quit your job if you're really interested in something else. You can continue doing your job and dedicate more time maybe to nurture the things that your soul wants, and see what happens. Okay, see what happens. I really enjoy doing card reading, but it took me forever to create my YouTube channel and being consistent with it and offering card reading to people. So, but every time I'm doing it, every time I'm in the moment, I'm like, oh my God, it flows. I love it. So, what calls you? What are those things when you can do and then time goes by fast and you don't even notice? What lights you up? Okay. But again, like the message is like enough of playing small, enough of telling yourself you can't do it. What kind of programming is that? Where did it come from? Why you feel you can't do it? Let's change that narrative. Let's dive into being the main character of your story. There was this fun quote I saw a few weeks ago that said, like, if you were in the movie, what the audience would be screaming at you right now to do, you know? Like if you ever watched a scary movie and you're like, no, don't open that door. Imagine you being in the movie, what the audience would be screaming at you, break up with him, come on. Or with her, right? You're worth more, ask for a raise, don't help this person anymore, you're enabling them. I don't know. Those are some things that coming through might relate to you, might not, but i'm I'm like being funny about it, but the message is really like, pause and think this week, pay attention. Or maybe you already know. Maybe you already know where you're not enough. Okay. Let's see what else I'm gonna come through. And I'm getting really, really achy throat right now. So, and some emotions. Uh, yeah. Some of you are like really blocked there in your throat chakra, because I do believe you can accumulate blockage if you talk down on you to yourself, if you like shutting yourself down, talking about how not worthy you are and not good enough. And why to try? It never works out. I've tried this before and didn't work out. Okay. Let's see. I have 3 decks here. Spirit, which one should I use for next message? Okay, I'm gonna do this one. What else? Deck number 3, you need to know, besides that you are enough. What else do you need to know? Okay. Action. What did I tell you? Let's go. It's so funny, you guys. I think in the deck number 1, there were like both cards looking this direction. Maybe it was deck number 2. I don't remember. I know you would be like, how do you not remember? You just did it. But like when you tune in into energies, you just go with the flow and now. And then you're done, or you go into the next one and it's in the now. It's not like I can't. But what I'm trying to say is those 2 cards were looking the same direction. It's so funny how you, deck number 3, get the cards that are looking at you. Those cards are calling you out. It's like, come on, enough talking bad about yourself. Okay, let's take some action. It says taking charge, hustle, ambition, forward movement, motivation, and energy. And I like this leopard. I think it's leopard, like coming out like a roar. You got it. You got it. And okay, so for some of you, I just got the message of working with your solar plexus chakra, because it's all about that confidence, that willpower. Okay, It might be blocked there, but besides the throat, too, for some of you, throat as well. How can you open this up so that you believe more in yourself? How can you like clear all those words you tell yourself how you cannot make it happen? Because you can. You can take charge of your thoughts. You can take charge of your actions. You can, but it starts with the thoughts. Taking charge of your thoughts. Like your mind is such a powerful beast. It'll do whatever unless you tame it and retame it and retrain it. It's it's a process for sure, but it pays off. Okay. What kind of ambitions you have in the past? Why you're not feeling like you align with that? What is missing? What piece is missing where you're not believing that you can get to that place where you go after what you want, go after your dream, go after your, the business you wanted to open up and build, the value you want to offer to the world. What's stopping you? You know, there needs to be some self-motivation awaken inside of you, so to let that energy of creation flow too. Do you hear that calling? Do you feel that uneasiness, dissatisfaction? Are you irritable because your soul is not aligned to what you want to do? You're not listening to yourself. You're playing small, okay? And you're just hurting yourself in the process. Is what I feel like. You're hurting yourself in the process because you're not honoring who you truly are. And what happens is like your story, your what you identify with at this moment in your life due to your experiences, there needs to be a recalibration of that so that you can actually remember who you truly are and what your soul calls you to, and then take action. Okay. All right. I also like the angelic guidance here too, with the wings and feathers. Okay, I'm gonna use this deck. See what else you need to hear. Deck number 3. You're okay, you're okay. Like I felt like some of you were like a little bit bummed out because these cards are kind of calling you out a bit. And I want it to be more encouraging and not like, oh, you wasted your time or you didn't use, this opportunity. No, you are where you are. But again, like, it's not like somebody's going to come and save you. So where can you feel more compassion towards yourself, where you can give yourself more grace and be like, you know what? Okay. I notice I'm not really kind to myself and I deserve better. And actually, I'm really drawn to this. And I don't know if I can make money off it. I don't know how this is going to play out, but I'm just going to do it because it lights up my soul. It gives me energy. And honestly, energy is the best. It's like the only currency, is the only thing we have in life, because even our bodies are borrowed, right? When we're done, we're done. All right. Let's. Okay. This bunch of cards flipped. Like you can see, a bunch of cards flipped here, but I'm going to take the top one. I'm going to take the top one. Oh, one more? Okay. I guess we want one more card for you. Let's see what that is. 2 more. Okay. Not arguing. All right. So, okay. It's going to be a little bit longer reading. All right. The card that fell out first is the Angel of Strength. So remember how I said angelic presence, and then you got another angel and another big cat energy. This is something you can also work with if it's in your belief system, or if you want to just try it out and give it a try and see. You can use the spirit animal for helping yourself to open up your solar plexus chakra and calling in energy of confidence You can call in leopard and lion. They're all strong. Tiger is a strong cat energy to stand by you while you stepping more into your power, and ask them to show you how you can do it energetically and mentally. Like you can really just embody the energy where you roar like a lion, where you move like a strong, powerful, big cat. Um, you can meditate, right? You can imagine a big cat walking with you when you walk into I want to say job interview. Imagine a nice giant cat walking with you, like a lion or lioness. Would you hold your back straighter? You know, play with it. All right. So this one fall on this card here. It fell on this card behind it, and it's kind of cool how there is more red and anxiety. But again, to me, just a confirmation that's what's happening with you. And look, they both have like dark hair and stuff. I don't know. I don't know how this it's done, but it's always amazes me when those cards just like confirm, confirm, confirm. Yeah, you might be feeling anxiety, a lot of anxiety, and I feel like it because A, you're trying to control things you cannot control, and B, you're following someone else's expectations, not necessarily your own goals in life. You're not like not even goals, like soul calling. Like what does enrich your soul? What does sparks you up? Can you say that? What brings that fire in your eyes? You know, when your eyes start sparkling. And I feel like because you're not aligning with that, because you're shutting it down for whatever reason, there's more anxiety. Okay, so to me, it's just like confirmation with these two cards. Let's see. You got community. All right. Let's see. I'm going to put it like this so you can see it. So community, and it was in reverse. So I'm going to read it as actually as a reverse. You perhaps been is isolating yourself a bit, or you're staying with the same group that no longer serves you. Then, you know, like those people that kind of drain your energy, that same old, they gossip too much, they talk down, you share something with them and they just like take your dream and throw it into the garbage, basically. And this is the invitation to get out of that and find people that actually support your dreams, that think you're amazing. And if you already have them, go reconnect with them, spend more time with them. Okay. Go to sound bowls healing or something, you know, go to concert, go to get coffee with them. It's just like what I feel, reestablishing your own environment so that you do not, so it's easier for you to stay in a new energy of being enough and new energy that inspires you. I personally like when people around me a little bit more further down the path where I want to go, because it's like if you play tennis with a person, or pickleball, I guess these days, with a person who is better than you, faster you getting your skills up. Does it make sense? So I feel like the same with dreams and goals. If you're surrounded by people that you wouldn't take you yourself wouldn't take advice from, because or you wouldn't like switch your places with, is what I want to say, uh then why would you listen to their advice, right? If someone who is miserable and single and tell you how, you know, stupid it is to get married, like, and you would not want to get advice from this person about relationships. You wouldn't want to switch with them, right? You wouldn't take their place. So why do you listen to their advice? Action. Take some action. Connect with those people, right? Connect with your community. Find your communities. Find your soul tribe. Again, that's the message. And we're really getting 17 minutes right now, but I guess it needed for you in this reading today, deck number 3, but I'm going to leave it this way, that enough of playing small. You were born enough. Just start chasing your dreams. Nobody's going to do it for you. Um, and obviously you don't have to like turn around, quit your job today, but stopping scrolling and then and like literally sitting with yourself and thinking, okay, what do I really want to do with my life? What really calls me? How am I going to step from here into the next era of my life? What do I want it to be? What am I envisioning? Am I going to wake up my old dreams? Are there new dreams I'm aligning with? Can I find the people that align with the same dreams? There's so many forums, there's so many platforms that like-minded people gather these days. Okay, can you go find something like that to support you on the daily? It takes discipline, it takes action, it takes consistency. Angel strength, you can pray to angel strength if it's in your belief system. Okay, you are strong though, you can do it. All right, deck number 3, this is a message for this week for you. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it resonates with you. If it does, leave a comment. It's always fun to read those. Otherwise, have a great week. It looks like there's a lot happening for you this week. I wish you all the best. Until next time, bye bye.